Today I'm going to give you guys 4 tips on how to have your money make you wealthy. Lots of us make money, but it doesn't make us wealthy. We make it, we spend more than what we make. So sometimes money makes us poor, if you want to think about it. But we're going to talk about how you can use your money to make you wealthy. So we're going to just go through. There are going to be 4 little things that we're going to talk about that we're going to include into how to make your money make you wealthy. First we're going to talk about a few little tidbits that I want to give you guys. So one will be have a long span. Have a long-term span for your plan, and prepare for the worst. When you ever heard the saying that prepare for the worst but expect the best? That is how I live my life. I'm always trying to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So when the best happens, I'm already prepared for the worst. So it's a euphoria for me. So that's definitely one of the things I live by. I'll be honest with you guys. There's no real easy answer on how to earn more money, how to make more money as a wage earner, or how to make more money in other ways. And you definitely, if you want to have your money make you wealthy, you want to definitely make sure that you are looking into the ways, the important factors that you need to understand about earning more money, but not necessarily having to literally work to earn that more money. Being smart about your money. You know how they say, work smart, not hard? So yes, that's where that comes from, I think. So you want to focus less on frugality. I have done some videos on frugality, and what does frugality mean? Frugality to me means to enjoy. So you want to focus less on not the cheapness of frugality and more on how you invest in your future. How am I investing in my future? One of my main focus and the one things that I focus on is the things that I want you guys to think about is one of the smart money habits I want you to think about that I'm talking about with you guys is when you use money, are you spending it or investing it? You always have to be thinking, are you spending it or investing it? If you're buying a luxury car, what are you doing there? Are you spending it or are you investing it? In my opinion, buying a car is not investments. So you're spending it. When you're spending money, you have to be very frugal about it. You have to think about it. If it's part investment, part spending, you have to think about the 2 parts. Which part are you spending? Which part are you investing? If you buy a new car, that might be investing in you getting to places. But if you're buying a luxury car that is going to cost $1,500 a month and you make $100,000 a year, that's spending, and that's probably frivolous spending. So it goes from spending to frivolous. So you have to think about your type of spending and your type of investing. So first, you have to think, am I spending or am I investing? And then when you decide which category you're in or which ray of category you're in, then you want to make sure that you find out, okay, what type of spending I'm doing and what type of investing I'm doing, because not all spending is created equally and not all investing is created equally, and not all using your money is the right. If you don't have the right habits, might not be wrong. It might be the wrong way of spending your money. So first, let's talk about a plan. Okay? Have a plan. A plan is inevitable. A plan with anything is inevitable. Preparation is the key to all things. Preparing for college, preparing for a test, preparing for a storm, preparing for a baby, preparing for a marriage. The more you are prepared, the better it is for you. So it's the same with finances. Having a plan, inevitable plan. The next thing you need to realize, and that a lot of people that are very plan focused don't realize, that a plan is subject to change. That does not mean you shouldn't have a plan, but you have to realize that you have the plan, but know that it will change. That's okay. You already have your outline. You already have your plan. Everything changes. Not everything is up to you in certain situation. And I always say God guides me. I, do my best and he does the rest. But that my best involves a plan. When it comes to finances, my best involves a plan. So for example, if your goal is to retire, you're planning to retire, when are you planning to retire? In 10, 20, 30 years? What is your plan? Now that over time is going to evolve. The retirement age 30 years from now to today is totally different. People are living longer, they're healthier, they're stronger. They realize that when they retire, they don't want to stop working. So that will affect your money plan, what you're doing. So long-term financial plan always works. But you have to take into account what your goals are, what your priorities are, what the circumstances around the plan are, what the values are, all these things that are subject to change. You take into account, but they're subject to change. So the key here, plans are evolving just like life is evolving. So you want to think more, you want to be able to save, so, and like I've told you, save with a purpose. So whatever your plan is, whatever your goal is, that is your plan. You want to make sure that the money that you're growing your wealth with, let's say that if you have excess cash, so you want to be, you want to say, okay, do I think I want to save more? Yes. So if I have excess cash or excess cash flow, what do I do with it? Do I default to spending it to upgrade my lifestyle? Do I direct the money into investment instead so I can grow my wealth? You can do a combo of both. You can 25% invest in upgrading your lifestyle and 75% invest so you can grow your wealth. Because, what you never had, you'll never miss. So if you're used to living a certain way, you can live that certain way, but just make sure that you're being moderate about it. So I wouldn't say take 100% of the money and invest it to grow your wealth. Yes, you want to grow your wealth, but what are you growing your wealth for? You do want to like your lifestyle. You do want to be happy. You do want to be content. Money itself is not going to do that for you, but your lifestyle can get a little more comfortable. Maybe you can go on a vacation. Maybe you could spend more time with your grandkids. Maybe you can, spend more time with your kids. So you can spend a little bit of that money to invest in your lifestyle, but never should your excess cash flow go into 110% into your lifestyle, 100% into your lifestyle. More of it should be going to building your wealth, and some of it should be going to invest in your lifestyle. Don't be unrealistic about your assumptions of future expenses and income. Like I said about the plan, make sure that, you assume lower expectation in the growth of your income and higher expectation in the cost of your living. So then when it's the opposite, you're pleasantly surprised and presently happy. Making the decision to opt out of choices that allows you to walk away with lower cost gives you that euphoria. Okay, I planned for this and this is where I'm at. If you ever look at the stock market or CNBC, you hear about expected earnings for companies. They tell you, okay, based on the EBITDA, based on the PE ratio, based on the market, based on this, Apple is expected to make $1 per share in earnings this quarter. Then you hear them, big news. Apple has beat earnings. They made $1.10 per share. The stock goes crazy. So if Apple had expected $1.10 and they only made $1.10 or they made $1.09, the euphoria of the situation would not be there. So it's all about your expectation, what your habits are. So you need to train yourself into having these habits so you can you can get yourself into thinking more positively. So if you plan for lower costs and lower income, higher costs and lower income, then you're definitely not going to expect you're definitely going to be pleasantly surprised at the end. Look for ways to earn more. So that does not mean that you need to sell all your stuff. It means that you need to be smart about your money. Like I say, your your passive income is income that you're not earning for working. That's what passive income means in real life. For taxes, there's some other caveats to it. But in real life, it means that it's income that you're not earning as wages or earning from actually doing your labor. So that would be interest, stocks, bonds, real estate income, royalties, all these different things. So that's where you are going to find the place to earn more money. I always tell you, when you're looking at your savings pots, even your emergency fund needs to be invested at the rate of inflation or above. If that means a money market, if that means a CD, whatever that means, it needs to be in a place where it's earning interest, earning on it at the rate of inflation or above. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that. If you save less money now because your income is more important than experience through life, then you don't want to save everything to use in the distant, long time, someday in the future. You want to make sure you're moderate about the plan. That's what I tell you. My financial plan accommodates my choices, So there's different things that different people's, depending on your habits and depending on your risk level and all the different things, there are different things. First, when I first save, I save aggressively for a certain amount of time. Maybe once I had my house and my kids' college fund, I started saving more aggressively because I didn't have the burden of those additional expenses. As my kids got older, I started saving more aggressively because I am more so saving for myself now, or growing myself, or if I'm saving for a particular thing, if I'm saving to invest in real estate, or I'm saving for, whatever it is that whichever savings goal you have, you allocate how fast and how aggressively you're saving. So you want to make sure that you understand what you want out of it, what your plan is, what is your long-term goals. You want to make sure that these are the things you're looking at. Make sure you're not ignoring the importance of making more money. Yes, you need to do that. You need to set your goals to create more wealth. Yes, but you need to understand the moderation of what you're doing. What are you really making more money for? Because you need your key to it is to have a happy and content life. So that is the reason. It's not for your money to be your servant sitting in the bank, not for you to be the servant to your money because you're only watching it in the bank and not doing anything with it. So you want to make sure that you're thinking about those things. Remember, frugality will only get you so far. So you want to make sure that you understand that, when you're being frugal about something, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you always. You want to make sure you're not being cheaply frugal. You can be frugal, meaning you're paying attention to what you're doing, paying attention to your needs, paying attention to your work, paying attention to your choices around your circumstance, your circumstances around your choices. You must recognize the necessity to save and invest money. I'm not disputing that, but, living frugal to get wealthy, it's possible, but the fact that you're lowering your expenses to save doesn't mean that you're living a happier life. So you want to make sure you have that balance. Remember, it's not deprivation or instant gratification. It's always about modification. So it's all about moderation. Sorry. So you want to make sure that, on your path in building wealth, that, you're not only looking at the costs or what you can cut costs, you're not only looking at your savings, you want to make sure that, you understand that it's the moderate way of living, but you still want to continue doing a little bit at a time, putting money in all your little savings pot. Don't wait to do anything that, I'm going to save later, I'm going to do this later, I'm going to do that later. Make your goal, focus on it, and no matter how long it takes, it can't be later. Later is not a real time. It has to be focus-minded on certain things. In 3 years, I want to do this. In this time, I want to do that. So this is what I want to put my money in. This is my goal for this. This is my goal for that. So it's not later. If you have a specific time or you're working towards something, no matter how slow you are at getting it, I've always been told that, be like a turtle. No matter how slow you are, as long as you're progressing, you should be okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, feel free to give me a follow to get updated on new and upcoming episodes, and listen in every Tuesday and Thursday, where I teach you smart money habits so you can make better money choices with a financial goal focus.